Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of InstacarHK. Today I am at rainy Singapore. Why? Well, because I've moved here. Yes, crazy, I know, and shocking for a big car guy to move to one of the worst countries in the world to buy and own cars. But I've actually moved here for work with my family because my company wanted me here. And frankly, I want to be here too. I love Singapore. I like the people, I like the space. Aside from the expensive cars, it's actually a great place. And Junior has been adapting here, no problems whatsoever. Now today, I am actually here to pick up my new car. Now, as you have seen in the title, I bought a new Toyota, which I will review later. But now I am at the Toyota Lexus showroom, which is owned by this dealership called Borneo Motors in Leng Kee Road. Leng Kee Road is this road full of car dealers with McLaren, Lamborghini, Maserati, Ferrari, and all that. But consistent with my lifelong curse of picking up new cars on super rainy days, this morning has been torrential rain non-stop. It's been raining non-stop, but it is what it is. But we'll go check out the car later, and I'll also explain to you why cars in Singapore are so expensive. But without further ado, let's pop in the dealer and check out my new car. Right, so now we're inside the showroom, away from the rain finally, and we just did all the paperwork and whatnot, and we're about to see the car. But before that, I just wanted to introduce to you guys Sam, who's my agent from Lexus. Sam has been super nice. I came in here the first time talking about buying a Lexus, but ended up buying a second-hand Toyota. But Sam was nice throughout, so thank you, Sam. Well, without further ado, Sam, let's go see the new car.
All right,
let's go.
Yep.
Thank you. And here it is. Ta-da! 2019 Toyota Harrier 2.0 Turbo. Wow. 220 horsepower. Wow. Am I going to be able to handle it? Screw it, why am I spending so much time shooting a Toyota Harrier? So the handover has officially completed. Sam was very nice telling me about the car. First impression, it's not my first time driving. I did do a test drive last time I was here. It's a Toyota SUV, but it's bigger size than the Lexus UX I had, which is kind of why I bought this, because originally when we came, we were looking for a second-hand Lexus UX 200, but then we realized this is quite expensive as everything else is here, and we probably need a bigger car as the family grows in size, as in my son grows bigger, not having another one. Anyway, I digress. So we're gonna head off now to get some fuel, and let's see where we go. I'm gonna do the brief review. No one cares about a Harrier, but not now. I don't want to crash on my way to my new home. Other than that, aircon is ice cold, which is of course important in Singapore. Bluetooth connected easily, although there is no Apple Play. Anyway, I'll stop talking and get moving, and we'll catch you guys later. Right, folks, so I got home just now, cleaned up the car a bit, put in Junior's baby seat and whatnot, and then drove around the place just to get a few kilometers under the belt and to get petrol. The car was empty. And speaking of petrol, I went to a Sinopec, which was the closest to where I live, and I put in 98 petrol. And 45 liters, they have a default discount, despite I don't have those credit cards with discounts yet. And it ended up at 121 Sing, which is 700 Hong Kong dollars. So at 45 liters, that's about 15 Hong Kong dollars per liter for 98 RON, which is not bad. But anyway, very quickly about this car, it's a 2019 Toyota Harrier, the only place where Japan officially imports the Harriers to Malaysia and Singapore. So it's a 2019 Toyota Harrier with 49,000 kilometers, which is actually considered low in Singapore, because cars here have massive mileage. Like easily they go to 100, 150, 200 kilometers. And I think part of it is because they pay so much money for these cars, so they have to get the bang out of the buck and to drive it as much as possible. So this one's relatively low mileage already, and is sold by the second-hand stock of Borneo, which is the official dealer for Toyota. I bought it from them. They could be a bit more expensive, but they say, you know, with these official dealers, it's highly unlikely the car will have issues or fake mileage and whatnot. And this has full Borneo service since day one previous owner accepted. So let's drive around a bit while we talk. So the Toyota Harrier has the 4-cylinder 2.0 turbocharged engine producing 227 horsepower, which is not a lot, but when I was trying out the car, I put it in sport mode, and it's okay. It's okay relative to the Lexus UX200 I had in Hong Kong. The UX200 I think only has 170 horsepower or something. So even though this car weighs 1,700 kg, the turbocharged 220 horsepower engine is okay. It's not bad, you know, for normal use. Particularly in Singapore, there are not many roads we can step on, so it's fine. Now, the big question then, as my title say, this is the most expensive Toyota I've ever bought in my life. Probably the most expensive Japanese car I've ever bought. And how much did I pay for it? 135,000 Sing. That is just under Hong Kong dollars 800,000. So I paid close to 800,000 Hong Kong dollars for a 2019 Toyota Harrier SUV. Is it crazy? Absolutely, it's crazy. It's insane. But that is the way of life here. You know, if you want to buy a car, you have to pay some crazy cost for it. There's no way around it. And being a car guy, I just couldn't not have a car. I mean, people say, oh, the public transport here is good, yada yada. Well, so is the public transport in Hong Kong. But you know, most of us car guys drive them. And why it is so expensive, one may ask, and that is, I'll give a really simple, brief sort of lesson on how car prices in Singapore work, as I'm also learning a bit. It's really different from Hong Kong. Anyway, so in Singapore, first of all, everyone talks about the COE. The COE is the Certificate of Entitlement. That certificate that you pay for, all it does is entitles the car to be on the road. That's all it does. It's not license fee, it's not tax, it's nothing. It's just a piece of paper, so to speak, that allows the car to be on the road. And the government here controls the number of COE. They control the quota. They've set an X amount of quota, and basically they don't really add more to it, generally speaking. So the COE, therefore, the prices fluctuate because to get a COE for a car, you have to go to auction bidding, like what we do in Hong Kong for number plates, for example. But here they bid for COE. And the prices can be very high. Right now is one of the pretty high periods. So for this car is what they call the Cat B car, which is because it's over 200 horsepower or something like that. So it's called Cat B. And the Cat B COE for this Toyota Harrier now, I mean, for a car similar to this model now, would cost 100,000 Sing. So that is about 580,000 Hong Kong dollars. And the COE, most importantly, only has the lifespan of 10 years. After 10 years, your COE is gone, you have to buy a new one. And if you're lucky, 10 years later, the COE would be a low price point. Or if you're unlucky, 10 years later, the COE will be a high price point, like now. So since this car is a 2019 car, meaning it's about 4.5 years old, its COE has already gone for 4.5 years, meaning I have 5.5 years left of COE on this car before I need to renew it. Okay, so that's the COE. Then the next one is the registration tax, which we have in Hong Kong as well, obviously, and that's the additional registration tax. So this car when it was first imported, it's worth around the car cost and the delivery, shipment, freight, and whatnot, is worth about 30,000 Sing. And the additional registration tax for this car is for any cars actually is by a table where the more valuable your car is, the more higher tax would be. So the first 20,000 Sing dollars would be 100% tax. The second 20,000, so $40,000, would be 140%. So this car, as I mentioned, has the value of 30,000 Sing dollars. So the first $20,000 of that value would be taxed at 100% tax of the 20,000. Then the remaining $10,000 of the value would be taxed at 140%. This car, because it's not an expensive car or whatever generally, that's why it was only maximum of 140% tax. But that scale of the additional registration tax for other cars, in Singapore, at the top can go up to 320%. So cars that are open market value is over 80,000 Sing can go up to 320% tax. That's why cars in Singapore are so expensive, because Hong Kong, we're used to pretty expensive new cars already with like 150 plus percent tax, but here it can go up to 320%. So when this car came, it would cost about 200 something thousand dollars. And those two are the biggest cost when buying a new car in Singapore. That is the COE and the additional registration tax. So it's very expensive, which is why even for the second-hand price for this one is so expensive, close to 800,000 Hong Kong dollars. So yeah, that is basically a very short, a very complicated, I'm sure, lesson on why Singapore cars are so expensive. And I'm sure there's more to it, but like I said, I'm still learning. I'm just trying to do a very brief one. Now, first off, although I've moved to Singapore, I do expect to be traveling back and forth to Hong Kong frequently, so there will still be Hong Kong content from time to time, so don't worry, you guys in Hong Kong won't get rid of me that soon yet. Secondly, in order not to lose all my subscribers overnight by doing a car review video on the Toyota Harrier, I'm actually now heading towards Clarke Quay for a classic car display that they are having there these few weeks. They just finished renovating Clarke Quay, which is a hot tourist spot, so they have a classic car display there. So next you will join me when I'm at Clarke Quay checking out some classic cars. See you then. So guys, here I am at Clarke Quay, the CQ at Clarke Quay area where there's a mini classic car display. So there are a handful of classic cars here, not many, but always a rare scene in Singapore. So let's take a very quick look and let me know in the comments what you think about the classic cars that are here today. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this latest episode with some snippets of Singapore and of course my local, new, hugely expensive Toyota, and to also get some joy from this classic car display we have here today. So if you did, please give us a like, please subscribe, please remember to click the bell button next to the subscribe button to know when our next video is. Thank you and have a good day.